Alright, Mikey's board back with you. Give you a couple more grout repair tips here. So we got a porcelain plank floor and 1/16 grout line, which is pretty challenging to begin with. They actually fought us on doing this. Said it would void the warranty on the tile, which is BS. They just didn't want to go through the headache. And the headache being trying to get the grout into that thin a gap. We wanted a thin gap, so that is a little more wood-like. But as you can see here, they didn't get enough in there, so with flexing of the house and settling and whatnot, it's been popping out. So it's honeydew week. So I'm starting by removing what I can, which is pretty basic stuff. Just knock it out of there, get the loose stuff out where they didn't force it in. And keep in mind they were using a trowel of some sorts, pushing it in, but this is 400 or 500 feet, so they weren't able to concentrate and get it all in there, which is understandable. So I'm gonna dig out what I can and then replace with good old Super Grout Additive, which, as you can imagine, isn't ever coming out. So get one of these knee boards, unless you're 16 years old, you still have all your cartilage intact, and get busy knocking out the loose stuff, vacuum it out, and I'm going to use unsanded grout. Probably purposely mix it a little thin just so that it gets in there deeper, and we should be good to go. Luckily, it's not a whole lot of areas. It's all kind of isolated to one area that I think is more of a joist issue. Not more of, but additionally, it's a joist issue, and there's lacking a little bit of support in this area. Hence the flexing and loosening of this grout. So that's really all about all of it in this area. Right through there. Get yourself a nice bright light so you see what you're doing. And next I'll show you the install of the SGA. So I'm just letting it fall in there, giving a little pressure on the plunger, and just want to force it all the way down, which is hopefully just the thickness of the tile. But with tile setters nowadays, you never know if they completely covered the back with the thin set or the mortar, so it could be potentially falling into some air pockets if they didn't do a complete coverage of the back, which would be a bummer because it's probably going to continue to fall in. So you got to watch it and add to it. At least we're working on a horizontal here, doing this on a shower wall joint. It can fall in there kind of endlessly, just drive you nuts. That's why you want to wait till the product's towards the end of the curing process, so it's much thicker. Definitely falling in right there. Yeah, I can see this area where I hit before, right in here, is falling in a little more than I'd hoped or wished for. All right, let's clean that up, force it in, clean it up. All right, here's a nice deep one. So I'm definitely having the issue of the product going deep and actually getting under the tile where there's some air pockets. So I'm having to slow down and really inject it in there. Otherwise it just keeps falling in. Just a little white spot right here. We, after all this tile got installed, we noticed probably about 20 of those throughout the house, most of them are all in the same spot on the tile. And it's actually a chip in the top of the porcelain coating that, you know, obviously we don't want to rip up the whole floor, but something happened, and it was throughout the house. It wasn't just one box, but somehow something whacked the tiles all in the same area. I don't think it was a tile setter. I think it was in the manufacturing process. And we just took some, or I should say the tile setter came back and took some colored epoxy and just dabbled those areas. I don't know if he missed that one, because once you stand up, especially my height, you can't even see them. It basically hit them. Could probably just use a brown Sharpie or something and color it in. Yeah, it's kind of slow going. Good thing it's a slow curing epoxy. Be drying up. I might have made 2 batches had I known it was going to be this slow. Because I want it on the thin side so that falls in. I can't hear it. My hearing's shot from being a Vortex owner for too long. But my wife hears the hollowness under some of the tiles in this area as she's walking around with her hard-soled shoes on, which tells me the setters didn't cover the back of the tile 100%. Alrighty, where's my cap? Let's see if I can force some of that in. And I've used this stuff to do a little color correction before, because it's, in a sense, it's a color seal. It's just much slower than using the proper color seal with the right applicator, but if it's all you got on your truck and you just got a small color correction to do, it's certainly doable and more durable, just very time consuming. Well, I'll be honest with you, that was a royal pain in the ass, because I think I had to go over every area 5 or 6 times, because the tiles weren't completely coated with the thin set, so the Super Grout was just oozing under the tiles and kept falling in. But as it was getting thicker, it was starting to stay put. Obviously, there's no way to do backer rod in this situation, but you know, like, you can see I did here, but not there. I had to be kind of selective. I was running out of material, and I didn't want to skim coat the whole thing. But I guess the real test will be when the wife gets home and see if she still hears that clunking. I could never hear it due to my Vortex ears, but this stuff should definitely stay put. Less of a crud catcher. Sheesh, I know I would have underbid this one had I been charging for it. But pretty much any time you're going to use one container of Super Grout Additive, just plan on charging like $600. I think that's a good rule of thumb. All right. Find a failed grout line or create one of your own in your house, grandma's house, or the neighbors, and practice. Or just go buy a tile or a couple tiles and practice making some joints in between them so you're not learning on the customer's time. And charge aplenty.